So I always compare it to, you ever see the movie Lord of the Rings? Yes? You ever see The Two Towers?
It's my favorite.
Look at that. Hey, look at that. Sign from the universe. So, for real, this might be the most impactful thing moving forward. I want you to remember, when you leave this event, when that little voice kicks in again, because it will, that little self-attacking voice, oh, but what Julien said was just in the moment. He doesn't know you and what you did. You should have still known better. That's going to happen. When it happens, think of the two towers. Think of that king sitting down with Wormtongue. Remember Wormtongue? That's that voice inside. For anyone here, Two Towers is the second Lord of the Rings. You see this old king half rotten away, and there's this little servant named Wormtongue whispering like terrible things like, oh, don't trust them, blah, blah, blah. And then there's a point in the movie where what do? They kick Wormtongue out. What happens when they kick him out? You see the king come back to life. All the gray white hair turned to color again, like gained 20 years younger, and just like, whoa, what was that? Because it was a little parasite yapping in his ear. You right now, you've let Wormtongue convince you, turn you into that old king. Temporarily, you're going to have to start putting your foot down and saying, fuck you, Wormtongue. Every time it's like, what's your name?
Leah.
Leah. It's like, Leah, you should have da-da-da. Fuck you, Wormtongue. Now, this sounds like self-hate. But what are you actually doing? You are placing a firm boundary where you will not let yourself be abused. This is key. It is a temporary boundary where you're like, nope. And you create space between you and Wormtongue. Once you create space, what can you then do? You can start letting go of it. As long as you're identified with it, though, and there's not that space, it's going to be very hard. So for you, an external step is when it happens, stop believing it. Visualizing it is the Wormtongue version of Leah, and you're going to say, fuck you, that's not true. Fuck you, no. You're worthless. No, you should have known better. No. And then from there, once there's a space, you're going to be able to dive into it, and you're going to have to learn to process it and let go. And a lot of it will be around forgiveness. And once more, forgiveness doesn't mean approving or disapproving. It means freeing yourself from being run by it. Because guess what? Here's the other dark side of things. That person, it was a he, right? What would he want from you moving forward?
You want to put that I'm happy and being happy when as the time that happened before.
What do you want you to hold back in life? What do you want you to hate yourself moving forward? What do you want you to self-attack and live in regret the rest of your life? The only person that wants that is that parasite. The real you doesn't want that. He doesn't want that. Never forget it. The parasite will convince you of all sorts of things, especially when it's you in your mind. And this is also important. Involve other people. If Wormtongue gets too intense, fuck you to Wormtongue. But if that isn't enough, talk to people who will take the charge out of it and remind you of this truth. You deserve a great life, a fulfilling life, and fuck anything and anyone who tells you the opposite, including that parasitic Wormtongue inside. Okay?